So, as promised over the last 3 tutorials, I'm going to look at using an audio editor now in parallel with using Vegas Pro 12. And I want to use an audio editor really because, as good as Vegas Pro is, it is a video editing program. It's not an audio editing program, and yes, you can do certain things with it in terms of what you can do sonically with our audio files, but my recommendation would be to link it up with an audio editor. Now, as I said in the previous tutorials, because Sony make Vegas Pro, it does link very well with Sony's SoundForge. But also, as I did say in previous tutorials, I don't think that there are any up-to-date SoundForge courses available on VTC's website. Now that's at the time of authoring this course on Vegas Pro 12. By the time you get to watch it, there could very well be a complete course on SoundForge. So probably the best thing to do is have a look at VTC's website first of all. However, just in case, and because at the moment at the time of authoring, as far as I know, there isn't an up-to-date or latest version for SoundForge on VTC's site. So because of that, I'm going to set up using an audio editor here with a program, and I'm going to use Adobe's Audition CS6. I'm simply setting it up to use Audition because I do know that VTC do have a course on Audition CS6, and I also know it's very good. Anyway, let's go through the process of what we can do when we want to use an external audio editor. Well, first of all, although I'll come back to what I mean by first of all in a second, but ostensibly what we need to do first of all is simply right click on our audio event and then run up here, and you're going to see a couple of choices: open in audio editor and open copy in audio editor. Now you might be wondering why we have those two choices there. Well, if you choose the top option, open in audio editor, then of course that's going to open up our favoured audio editor, and it's going to be Audition CS6 in a moment. And within Audition, we will see this file that we are working on our timeline. And therefore any changes that we do make in Audition will be reflected with this file. So if we delete something or compress something within Audition, then by reverting back to Vegas Pro as we are here, then those changes will make immediate effect. However, that might not be what you want. You might be wanting to open up your audio editor and edit a copy of this file so that you've always got the original file as a backup, just in case something goes wrong. Maybe you do open up your audio editor and make some changes, but subsequently you come back to Vegas Pro and you decide, oh, I didn't really like that. Well, you wouldn't be able to undo them if you choose this top option, open in audio editor. Okay, so that's why we've got those two options there. For this tutorial though, I'm just going to go through the top option, open in audio editor. So you would think it would be a simple process of clicking on here, but as soon as I do, then I will see this dialog box. There is no audio editor specified in preferences, so you do need to set this up first if you've not got SoundForge installed on your machine. And on my laptop here, I don't have SoundForge installed. I only need Audition and Wavelab. I don't need any other audio editors on my laptop. Anyway, so let's cure this. I'll click on OK, and now I would simply navigate to the particular program that I want to use as my audio editor. And of course I want to use Adobe's Audition CS6, as I've said. So by digging down into it, I need to find what's known as the exe file. And here it is, my Adobe Audition CS6.exe, my application, my exe file. So I'll open this, and now you'll see here in Preferences under the Audio tab, my preferred audio editor. Now you can set this up prior to trying to run this operation, i.e. without right-clicking on your audio event and choosing an audio editor. You could easily set this up before you do any of that. If you do, then by going to Options and opening your Preferences and then going to this Audio tab, then here where it says Preferred Audio Editor, well that would be blank and you would have to browse. Okay, essentially you're doing the same thing. So I'll accept this, I'll click on OK. And therefore now we're all set up. If I go through the same operation once more by right-clicking on my audio event and again running up to open in audio editor, as soon as I click on here, as you can see by the splash screen there, Audition is opening up. And once it's ready, then you're going to see your audio file here. Now, as I've said earlier, there is an excellent course on Adobe's Audition CS6 on VTC's website, so I'm not going to go through the detail here so much. Have a look at their course. It's great. What I'll do for the moment is I'm going to make a couple of changes here and have them reflected back in Vegas. So, for example, if I highlight this section here and then run up to favorites, I'm going to run down here and choose normalize to -0.1 dB. So effectively, just that section now gets normalized, i.e. its loudest point, and by relation all its other audio points, now get raised so that the loudest point now is at, well, effectively at 0 dB, optimum level. Just slightly under, at 0.1 decibel, just under it. Okay, and you can see that better now anyway. If I click away, you'll see that beginning section is much louder than the remaining part of this audio file. And in a moment when we go back to Vegas, you'll see that updated as well. Let's do something else, something much more visible and obvious when we do return to Vegas. This section here I'll highlight, and rather than normalize, i.e. increase the volume, I'm going to reduce its volume to silence. That's not really what we want, but I'm just showing you this as an example. And because this is an example, perhaps it would have been better not to open the original file as we have done here within Audition, but to use a copy of it. Remember that option that we saw? Anyway, regardless, I do need to remember to come up to File and save this, or otherwise it won't work. And then I'll close Audition down. At first on my timeline, my audio event doesn't appear to have taken on those changes, but as soon as I click away, then you'll see that my audio waveform display there on track 2 updates to reflect these two changes that I've just made. There you go. The beginning section is much louder than the other section towards the end, and we can see that blank area, that silent area that we just created as well. And just to check everything is working, I'll place my CTI here. I don't need to hear it all, so I'll just place it here and click on play.
Inside of me, inside of you.
Okay, great. Now here's the quiet section. It lasts for a couple of seconds before the audio kicks back in again at its original level. Here we go.
What I still scared, there's always days like these. I can't wake up, slept too peacefully.
Okay, so it's that simple then when we want to use an audio editor with Vegas Pro 12.